Now at 5, bringing back a Beaumont staple. We are one day away from the Riverfront Park groundbreaking. What's funding the park's restoration and what it means for downtown development. Plus, a home invasion turns deadly. Why Beaumont police believe the home was targeted. What investigators are working to learn following an overnight shootout. Also, honoring silent heroes. The special week dedicated to dispatchers will get a behind-the-scenes look at how the job has changed over the decades. 12 News at 5 starts now. Ready for renovations, Riverfront Park in downtown Beaumont is getting a much-needed facelift. The city plans to celebrate with a groundbreaking tomorrow. Now, the park was a family-friendly staple before it was damaged during Harvey when it was forced to close. Now, restoring the park will cost $17 million, which is paid for by FEMA money. Preparations are now underway for tomorrow's big ceremony, and city leaders say they've got big plans to give the plot of land new life. 12 News reporter Kayla Chote spoke with the city's public works director. Kayla, many families are looking forward to this project.
Yes, Brenda, city leaders hope to open the park by September 2024. You can expect to see people and families tubing down the Neches River and couples taking long walks along the river's edge. People also sitting on park benches, reading books, enjoying the view. Harvey left behind a lot of damage to Riverfront Park. The most concerning, the erosion of the river banks. Riverfront Park lost more than 50 feet of shoreline when Harvey hit. The city's plan isn't to rebuild the shoreline, but instead to make it stable. Today, crews arrived to start preparing for the first day of construction. The city plans to add a new boat dock, lighting, and more. Additional amenities are still being discussed, but some ideas include a food truck park, a playground, and restrooms.
Park benches will be put back, the sidewalks will be restored, there'll be a sidewalk the entire length of the river, there'll be a railing along the river, and then you'll have some stations with water fountains and ability to plug into electric, that kind of thing, and the lighting.
FEMA awarded over $47 million towards this project, but the city is only using about $17 million. The rest will go towards a freshwater pump at Collier's Ferry. Coming up at 6 p.m., why city council leaders are so excited for this project and what the project's timeline is. Live in Beaumont, Kayla Chote, 12 News.
All right, a crime alert for you tonight. Beaumont police need your help finding the persons involved in an early morning shootout that left 2 people dead. Now, police believe this was a targeted attack. Police arrived at the 1800 block of LG Street just after 2:15 a.m. Authorities tell us a group of men burst into the home and several people started firing guns. The suspects ran away before police could arrive. One man was killed. Another was taken to St. Elizabeth, where he later died. About an hour ago, Beaumont police identified the victims as 31-year-old Rovin Dotson and 32-year-old Ahmed Hayden. Police are asking for information that could lead to the shooters. You can contact Crime Stoppers at 409-833-TIPS with any information. A Groves man gets 10 years probation for setting his relative's home on fire. 39-year-old Jacob Graves pleaded guilty to arson. Now, as part of his plea deal this morning, Judge Raquel West sentenced him to probation, and he'll have to pay $3,500 in restitution to the victim. That fire happened at a house on Todd Road in Winnie back in August. According to a probable cause affidavit, Graves texted the victim that he was going to burn their house down before setting the fire. All right, let's move over to the storm trackers this evening for a check of your forecast. You're getting a live view over Lake Charles. Still a cloudy day. Let's check in with meteorologist Carrie Cooper. Carrie, these clouds have not really lifted since last week.
Really hadn't. Just at times they have, but not for very long periods of time, that's for sure. We've seen a few peaks of sun here and there today, getting a few breaks in the clouds over in Orange County right now. That's about it. They'll fill back in overnight. We're running in the mid to upper 60s under mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. Been a few sprinkles out to our west, but not a big deal there. So look at futurecast this evening. Temperatures will slowly drop on down through the 60s under cloudy skies. Maybe a sprinkle or two here or there. A little bit of mist later this evening, kind of like what we saw last night is possible. Heading out this evening, temperatures not too bad. We'll be at around 65 at 8. Down to 60 by 10 p.m. in your next 3 days. Tomorrow, kind of a repeat of today, a few sprinkles around. A little bit better chance of rain Wednesday. That's only a 30% coverage, highs in the 70s. Those nice low temperatures in the 50s will continue just for a few more days before those give way as well. We'll talk about that, the rest of your storm tracker forecast coming up.
This week, we're taking time to honor our silent heroes for National Telecommunicators Week. 911 dispatchers are many times your voice of reason in the midst of chaos. Port Arthur Police and Fire Dispatch invited 12 News in for a behind-the-scenes look. Now, 12 News reporter Gloria Walker took cameras in, and Gloria, you got to see firsthand just how demanding this job is.
Well, Brenda, that's right. Longtime Port Arthur dispatchers sat down to talk with me about the calls they haven't forgotten and how much this job means. Behind this door are the voices that pick up your calls during emergencies. Today we caught up with police and fire dispatchers of Port Arthur and how they handle calls complaining from loud music to devastating crash scenes. Currently, there are 16 people alternating the long 12-hour shifts, and longtime dispatcher Ralph Odom says he's seen many changes throughout his career of 44 years.
Paper to now we're computerized dispatching, and phone systems also changed from the old-time phones to the computerized phones. 911 is also has been around for about 32, 33 years.
Odom says that they are also the last team to leave the city and evacuate in case of natural disasters. And coming up tonight at 6, we hear from a fellow dispatcher stories of how they helped save a life from the other side of a phone. In studio, Gloria Walker, 12 News.
Certainly a crucial job. Thanks so much, Gloria. Tonight, we're rooting for a champion. A star athlete with ties to Beaumont could hear her name called at the Women's NBA draft tonight. LSU star and Legacy Christian Academy graduate Alexis Morris will be in New York for the big draft. The Beaumont native led the Tigers to their first NCAA championship with her impressive 21-point and 9-assist game against Iowa. Over the weekend, Morris returned to Southeast Texas. She came over to celebrate her big performance, and she also received a key to the city.
I'm just super grateful and appreciative, you know, to be able to come back to my hometown and be an inspiration and aspiration to the younger generation and the kids that's trying to, you know, make it out of Beaumont, because it's a really tough place to make it out of, and I'm just happy to be home. Home sweet home, baby.
Well, the 12-team WNBA has 3 rounds. Both ESPN and SB Nation are predicting Morris will go in the second round. The draft begins at 6 tonight. Still ahead here at 5, important Pentagon documents leaked. Why experts are concerned about the wrong eyes seeing what's in that information. But first, pushing for a pardon. How Governor Abbott is getting involved in letting off a man convicted of murder. Now at 5, a husband and father killed at an event in Cheek. How the family of Javoris Potier is remembering him and why Jefferson County investigators are counting on eyewitnesses to come forward. Plus, ready to be restored. The groundbreaking at Riverfront Park in Beaumont today and the lasting impact city leaders say this project will have on downtown. Also, tackling teacher shortages, the new partnership between area schools and how it's going to speed up the process for students to become certified educators. 12 News at 5 starts now. Our top story at 5, family and friends are mourning the loss of a father who was killed on Easter Sunday. 30-year-old Javoris Potier was shot at Le Day Arena in Cheek, and another person is still recovering from a gunshot wound. Tonight, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office is still trying to piece together exactly what happened. But so far, no one has come forward with information. 12 News reporter Gloria Walker spoke with officials who are working hard to bring justice to Potier's family. Gloria.
Well, Brenda, I spoke with Sheriff Zena Stevens, and she says this violence is just senseless. DeVoris Potier leaves behind a son and another child on the way. Sunday at Lede Arena in Cheek, people were celebrating, dancing, and having fun as the grounds were hosting a Zydeco dance. But if you take a close look at this welcome sign, it says no firearms or weapons allowed. But Sunday morning, sheriff's deputies say 2 men were shot and one, DeVoris Potier, lost his life. Friends tell us DeVoris loved Zydeco music and dancing and had a real zest for life. In such a crowded space, investigators believe someone saw something, and they believe someone has critical information that could help catch the person responsible.
Still investigating. We're interviewing, witnesses, looking at the crime scene and studying it, looking at videos, and of course, we're encouraging if anyone in our community has information to please contact us. There is a loss of life, and another person was injured.
Now, if you do have information and you don't want to go through the sheriff's deputy's office, you can go to Crime Stoppers at 833-TIPS. And coming up tonight at 6, I spoke with one man who describes DeVoris as a brother and how family and friends are coming to terms with the loss of this young father. Live in studio, Gloria Walker, 12 News.
All right, certainly heartbreaking. Thanks so much, Gloria. A Beaumont man accused of harboring a Vider runaway has been indicted on multiple charges, including sexual assault of a child. 44-year-old John Allen III was arrested back in December after a Vider teen went missing for 3 weeks. Police say Allen helped pass out flyers for the missing 14-year-old girl and even told police he had no idea where she was. An anonymous tip led police to a home in Beaumont where the girl was eventually found with Allen. He now faces charges for sexual assault of a child, sexual performance of a child, and possession of child pornography. Well, tonight, Jasper police are deciding whether to file charges against a student after police say she assaulted a teacher. Now, Lieutenant Garrett Foster tells 12 News a 67-year-old English teacher at Jasper High received minor injuries after a senior assaulted him. Right now, Foster says they're working to determine what charges should be filed. The student's name is not being released until she is formally charged, and 12 News is not releasing the name of the teacher at this time. All right, let's turn things over to our storm trackers for a check of your forecast. You're getting a live view over Orange. Not so gray skies today. We got to see some sun out there. Let's check in with meteorologist Carrie Cooper. Carrie, it was a beautiful, beautiful spring day out there.
It really was, Brenda. We had some clouds earlier, kind of thinned out. It's turned into a beautiful day. Partly cloudy skies, air mass still pretty dry, so we're not seeing much in the way of precipitation. We think that'll change, though, later tonight, tomorrow, as some deeper moisture works in around our upper low from Louisiana. Right now, partly cloudy, temperatures in the low to mid 70s, lakes, mid to upper 70s in a triangle. And future casts this evening will call for partly cloudy skies, and temperatures will go from the 70s into the 60s, and eventually later tonight, some 50s for lows again. So we'll have at least one more decent night of cool temperatures. Now, as we said, moisture levels will be on the increase coming up tomorrow. We'll have a little bit better shower activity coverage across the area. This evening looking good, partly cloudy with temperatures dropping into the 60s. Next chance of rain will be tomorrow. Look for a 30% coverage. Scattered showers back in the forecast. Looks dry though for Thursday and Friday. Lows still in the 50s though. That'll be nice. And stay tuned. We'll have more in the storm tracker forecast and early look at the weekend in a few minutes.
All right, not excited about the showers, but certainly those lows. Thanks, Carrie. Today, the city of Beaumont broke ground on Riverfront Park. 12 News first brought you an update on the restoration project yesterday. And this downtown park was a family-friendly place before it was damaged by Harvey. Now, restoring it, it's going to cost $17 million, which is being covered by FEMA funds. Now, many families are excited to see the Southeast Texas staple get a much-needed facelift. 12 News spoke with Beaumont City Manager Kenneth Williams today. He says this is only part of the restoring downtown.
But we're doing other things that will combine with this project to make downtown and Beaumont great. You know, we're doing a downtown redevelopment plan where we're looking at how we can do things in the other areas.
Construction officially got underway today. Williams says the goal is to have the park open to the public by September 2024. All new here at 5 today, Port Arthur had a big turnout for an active shooter training. It was hosted by the Southeast Texas Regional Advisory Council. First responders, including police officers, EMS, and Jefferson County Sheriff's deputies attended, as well as members of the community. The nonprofit says the goal is not only to prepare first responders for these emergency scenarios, but also you guys, the public.
Every time you do live training like this, you become better. And there's only one way that you can get the skills that you learn at a live scene like this, and that's doing training where you have live patients, you mobilize them up, and you respond just like you would in a real world incident.
Life-saving skills, certainly. Today's training also included first responders from outside our area like Sugar Land and Lake Jackson. Developing tonight, several Southeast Texas schools are working to bring more teachers to our area. Lamar University, Vidor ISD, and Lamar State College in Orange met today to celebrate the teacher co-enrollment program. This is the first year the schools have partnered up. Vidor and Newton ISD students who are ready to become teachers actually graduate from high school, then they become teacher's aides for Vidor ISD. They do this while taking classes to earn their associate's degree in teaching. The partnership is meant to help combat the teacher shortage in our area.
It's awesome for the students because it's the right thing to do at the right time, and we're going to get the right outcome, which is on our students being able to succeed and have a career, not just a job.
We also spoke with Vidor ISD Superintendent Dr. Jay Kilgo. He says they expect to continue growing this program over the next few years. And if you're looking for work, tomorrow you can meet dozens of potential employers at the Spring Job Fair. Workforce Solutions of Southeast Texas is hosting the event in Beaumont. More than 30 employers will be set up at the Paul and Connie Zuck Multi-Purpose Center on East Lavaca. That event starts at 10 a.m. It's expected to wrap up around 1 in the afternoon. Still ahead at 5, a fundraiser for Beaumont pets. I'll tell you how your spare change could save an animal's life. And later, brand new details following the bank shooting in Louisville. What police confirm about the gunman who got his hands on an assault rifle.